sex, incest, and murder. This is White Lotus.
Let's talk about it.
Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperTalks. I'm Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
And yes, it may have taken us a while again, but we are going to be talking about the finale and the entire series of the White Lotus.
No. Specifically season 3.
Season 3.
Of White Lotus.
Because that has been on the tip of the tongue of everybody in town. And so, you know what? We're going to be like, okay, let's check it out. Let's see what the fuss is about.
สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to the White Lotus in Thailand ค่ะ
I'm on an exchange program. I'm starting to feel like something good's gonna come out of this.
Stress management meditation. Yeah, you need this.
To preface, I binged all season 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And one of the main reasons why I asked Nick to watch specifically season 3, because in my opinion, that is the best season out there. I'm not discounting that 1 and 2 is not good, but in terms of, you know, it being most recent and being technically close to home, right?
Yeah.
Season
Next
3 is something that I've been dying to have someone talk about. So naturally, I just forced Nick to be like, hey, Nick, please fucking watch season 3. I want to talk about it.
And I binge watched it in about 3 days.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have a life. I have shit to do. So, you know, I couldn't binge watch it in an entire day.
Oh, no.
Says the one that looks at me and go, I'm so busy, bro. I binge watched season 1, 2, and 3.
That's the beauty of having a desktop and a laptop.
Blade, when?
Anyways, we're going to talk about season 3 of White Lotus specifically.
But before we get into that, it was actually interesting that you asked me to watch season 3 because you had messaged the group going, I just started watching season 1. I don't understand why people enjoy this.
Exactly.
So, what was it about season 1 that you didn't like that season 3 you enjoyed more?
I mean, personally, after watching all 3 seasons, let me just break it down, okay? On the back of the DVD first, let's go with that, right?
Yes.
White Lotus is basically a show that features both the guests and the hotel employees in a span of 1 week in this luxury hotel chain called the White Lotus. So White Lotus, the name of the show is also the name of the hotel chain. Season 1, it was in Maui, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Season 2 is in Sicily, Italy, and Season 3 is based in Koh Samui, Thailand. Right? So, Maui, the season, sorry, what England?
England, no good.
England, no understanding, right? So, season 1 is based in Hawaii, right? That is when I was first exposed to White Lotus as a whole. I never understood what I'm supposed to get out of it because it was slow. The character was a bit draggy. It was quite dry.
Okay.
And then it was, you know, almost the same for season 2. But for season 3, you get to be more exposed to like this very ragtag band of people because every season introduces the cast and crew. The cast on a boat. They all start on the boat.
Okay.
And you know the scene where they reach or almost reach the shore and then there'll be like the stuff waving. It
that's
happens
every show.
Every show, right? That is the SOP for White Lotus Hotel. But going back to your question, why I did not understand season 1 is because mainly I didn't know what I was getting myself into. All I knew was people are saying White Lotus is good. You should watch it.
Okay.
And I didn't understand it.
Okay. And then you watch season 3 and you're like, okay, now I understand it.
Yes.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. Because I preface this, I haven't watched any of White Lotus at all. 1 or 2 also I didn't quite get into the fad of it.
Okay.
But after watching season 3, I'm like, don't kill me. This may not be my thing.
Exactly.
But I get the fascination with it. I get the drama of it. It's very high class soap opera. It really is.
Yep. I don't disagree.
Because
I don't disagree.
There's so much scandal. There's so much sort of like
it's
gossiping.
basically a show about, I hate to say this, but white rich people problem.
Yes. That's exactly it. And honestly, like I said, I'm okay with that. It's not necessarily my thing because I feel like it could be a much more well-woven story. Because how I feel about this is it feels like an anthology series, but it's not, if you get what I mean.
It briefly is because there's only a couple of characters that was reoccurring in both season 1, 2, and 3. Mainly, I need to find her name real quick. Belinda is one. The other one is this character called Greg or Gary.
Yes. Yeah.
He was in both season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
And in season 1 and season 2, you will also be exposed to this character called Tanya, played by the ever amazing Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
Right? It was nice to see them reoccurring in all seasons and actually see how have their life changed. Because at the end of the day, White Lotus is a show about trauma. It's a show about, I want to say problems, but there should be a better word.
Issues,
yeah. Baggage,
trauma,
taboo. It's a show that makes you feel uneasy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that also boils down to the music, especially.
Yes. I love the intro. I just want to say all season 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
their intro is different, but in the same melody.
Yes. The music in this and the soundtrack of it is so eerily haunting, combined with that sort of almost like tourism sort of shots of Thailand and whatnot.
Yes.
But there's this uneasy music underneath it.
Yep.
That you're just like, this feels good, but not at the same time. And I think that can encompass the entire season of season 3, the mood and feel of it.
Yeah.
Now, after the break, we're going to delve a little bit more into the series, what we liked, what we didn't like, and why you should actually be watching it if you haven't already. So yeah, during the break, we were actually talking and you said that this is a very HBO show.
Yeah.
It is, right?
It is a very HBO show, mainly because, like you say in the intro, right, this was about incest.
Sex and murder.
Yeah, sex and murder, which kind of is like a blanket term for a majority of HBO's recent TV productions.
Yeah.
Right?
Except this one doesn't involve dragons.
Yeah.
I mean, that one also sex, incest, murder.
Yeah, sure. And a lot of boobs and butts as well.
Yeah.
A lot of boobs and butts as well.
Wait, so is White Lotus like the upper class version of Game of Thrones?
Maybe.
What if Game of Thrones was a modern day version? That would be the White Lotus.
But then, unlike Game of Thrones, White Lotus don't have a lot of political drama, don't have a lot of war going on.
Hey, but got Komodo dragon? So got one dragon.
Bro, you too much. You're reading too much into this, right? Not just one Komodo dragon, there was two. There was two
so
scenes.
got two dragons.
Two dragons.
What's better than one?
Right.
Two.
But going back to White Lotus itself, right? Before the break, I did compare it to the previous seasons of both 1 and 2. And I like this more than the both, mainly because of the storyline itself, the plot, the arcs, the characters. I feel like here, the characters in season 3 are more fleshed out.
Okay.
So we are introduced to a couple of circles of people, but I want to highlight specifically 3 circles, which I have here. The Girls Trip Trio, which features Laurie, Kate, and Jacqueline. The second one is the Radcliffe family, which features Victoria, Timothy, Saxon, Piper, and Locke. And the third one is a circle that I'm calling Justice, which features Chelsea and Rick.
Yes.
Right. So all of the characters that I've mentioned, right? We have actresses like Carrie Coon, Leslie Bibb, Michelle Monaghan, right? And then you have actors like Parker Posey.
We got Walter Goggins.
Right.
What's his name?
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Right? The son of Arnold.
Jason Isaacs.
Yes, Jason Isaacs as well.
And what's his name? Walter
Sam Rockwell.
Goggins, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like all of these characters are definitely more refreshing than the previous season. Again, this is my personal opinion. Just binge watching all 3 seasons in a week's time, right?
Now, I haven't watched season 1 and 2, so I can't share that same sentiment and whatnot. But what I can share is that while the characters I feel are very nice and very fully fleshed out, therein lies my major problem with it. Because the reason why did
you finish all episodes?
I finished all episodes,
okay.
The reason why I feel like this is an anthology series rather than an actual drama series is because these 3 groups all feel disconnected from each other. Sure, they may meet from time to time going, hey, whatnot, but I feel like I'm investing in 3 different stories without a proper conclusion.
Three different stories and more because you have other characters,
you got Belinda's
right? Like
story as well.
like Belinda's story and the somewhat subplot between Mook and Gaitok.
Yes.
Right? The little love story that's going on behind it as well.
So it feels like it doesn't come to a proper climax where everyone is involved somehow. It feels a bit disjointed in that sense, and that's my major issue with it. I enjoyed it, but I just felt every time I shift to another story, it felt so abrupt. I'm like, I'm here now. Honestly, the girls' trip storyline, I was so bored, bro.
Because
it felt like just another Sex in the City.
It just feels like any other TV soap opera like Friends or Seinfeld, where there are just a bunch of friends who were close at one point and then they still catch up here and there. And then in this plot line itself, you just see them trying to catch up on old times just to find out that, one is going through some midlife crisis, the other one is like a Trump supporter, and then the other one is like this famous actress that is also like a diva, right? That is trying to be a very down-to-earth person as well. And then their storyline just... I don't know, man. They were just trying to be like, whatever happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas kind of vibe.
The entire storyline is just them chasing after one guy. And then in the end, I'm so sorry.
Why you fuck the guy? Like,
and then at the end, I love you. I love you all. Right? I'm so sorry. I'm like,
okay.
I don't like this storyline because it feels so shallow in that sense.
Right. I enjoy the storyline of both Chelsea and Rick, played by
Walter Goggins and my goodness, what's that actress's name?
Amy Lowood.
Amy Lowood, yes,
Amy
from
Lowood.
Sex Education.
Right. I love Amy Lowood. She is unfortunately she has unfortunately been on the spotlight online. And
for the wrong reasons.
And even Saturday Night Live.
That wasn't right.
Dirty. I feel like that was a very cheap jab at her features because I feel like as an actress, she is one of my favorite, if not the favorite character because she is a force for good. Her character Chelsea and Walter Goggins' character as Rick is a literal yin and yang. You have the good, you have the bad.
Yes.
And you can tell that there's so much friction for their relationship, and the whole reason why Walter Goggins' character is in White Lotus in the first place is because he's here for revenge, and Amy Lowood's character Chelsea was just here. They're like, okay, my boyfriend's here, I'm coming here, and you can see she's doing all the yoga, all the chill stuff, trying to get him to relax and enjoy the trip.
But she really loves him.
Yes.
Yeah. I really enjoyed her character as well because she felt like such a sweetheart, like such a kind soul.
Sweetheart, girl next door sweetheart kind of vibe,
like very
right?
genuine.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yes.
So it was, spoilers. It's unfortunate what happened to her. Not going to say what happened to her because if you haven't watched season 3 by now, something happens, but it's such a shame that it did happen to her. But then again, I kind of understand in the sense of where the story was going. It's like, it's a realization for Walter Goggins' character. And then in the end,
Yeah, and in the end, long story short, let's just put it this way, by the time he realizes that all the anger he had since childhood or since his mother's death has been a lie.
Yeah.
Right? And you can see the regret being portrayed by Walter Goggins. And he's such an amazing character.
He is a fantastic, like the two of them had wonderful chemistry, wonderful backstories. And if there was any story, I felt like, you know what? Let's just focus on this.
Yep.
It's their story.
Yep.
Because then again, their story really focused a lot within the White Lotus, the hotel itself, and, the owner of the White Lotus. So that was the only one I felt was actually connected as a whole to the story, unlike the other 3.
And speaking about the other 3, the last one that I really want to highlight here is the Radcliffe family. And the last time I really hated a character on TV was Skylar from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Walter White's wife.
Yeah.
And I hated not the actress, but the portrayal of Skylar.
Okay.
In White Lotus, I have another contender that kind of topped that chart, which is Parker Posey's character as Victoria Ratliff. She is obnoxious. She is, oh my God, I don't have words.
Yeah.
I don't have words for how bad and overwhelmingly self-centered she is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From the body language to the way she speaks to the way that she thinks, I just fucking hate her character.
Yeah.
And I commend Parker Posey for playing her so well.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, I really enjoyed Jason Isaacs' performance because I felt like, I mean, he's a British actor. He knows how to do depth and internal acting very well. And just seeing the struggle that he had to go through, but it's not overtly
over.
It's not over. It's not over the top. It's not over the top.
over.
It's so internal of like,
Yes.
what the hell am I going to do? So I appreciated that performance very much. Patrick Schwarzenegger also, I like the guy. I like the guy in Gen V. I like him in this. He's got talent and hopefully follows his father's footsteps.
Speaking about his character, right? Do you know the character Kenny that he was on the phone with? Like his business partner?
Yeah.
Do you know who Kenny was portrayed by?
Ki Kwan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Right.
recognize that voice instantly.
He was uncredited, you know?
Really?
He was uncredited. I believe he was just doing out of a favor or something.
Maybe he really
but
liked the show.
Maybe he really did, right? But going back to the Ratliff family, there was all 5 of them, and you can see the pressure boiling from the day that they landed to the day that they leave the island. You can see how quickly, because all, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, all of the White Lotus episodes from season 1 to 3 depicts 1 full week in the resort.
Okay.
Right? So you can see how quickly in 1 week's time their family's history, I would say, went from being fortunate to unfortunate. And throughout all the episodes, you can see Jason Isaacs' character, which is the dad, breaking down slowly, and pieces of his armor gets ripped apart and torn apart, and you can see the demise.
And that question of morality as well.
Yeah.
Whether what to do is right or wrong.
Yep.
How to get out of it. It was well written, that one. But again, like I said, all the 3 storylines, I just wish they were connected better.
I would say this goes for other seasons as well,
Okay.
where the word you used was anthology, right? But I just feel like you're just following the story of each batches of guests in their 1 week's time in each of the White Lotus location, because it happens in season 1, it happens in season 2, and it happens in season 3 as well, where you don't only follow one character or like one family, but a storyline of a few.
Maybe just personal preference, but I would have enjoyed it if, say, like episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, each episode is focused on one group.
Okay.
And then 5, 6, 7, 8, they all sort of come together and whatnot. So
Right.
we have their standalone episodes, but we also have the ones where they're all together. I would appreciate that more. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a very good season. How would you rate it on the Clapper meter?
I would give. Are we talking about like season 3 specifically?
Season 3
I would
specifically.
I would give it a solid 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well.
Yeah.
A 7 out of 10. It's a solid season. It's very scandalous. So it's like a nice guilty pleasure watch.
Definitely. It's a nice weekend binge.
Yes.
Like if you really we are blessed, and I would like to say what a time to be alive, because we have so much options, especially in 2025 with not only TV shows but movies as well.
Yes.
But if you're in a point in life like me that you run out of show, I'm not talking about Blade, and you just want to watch something fun, something thrilling, something that kind of like moves your brain a bit, that gets you thinking.
Yeah.
White Lotus, both 1, 2, and all 1, 2, and 3. It's definitely worth the binge. But if we're talking specifically about season 3, 7 out of 10, you definitely have to check it out so that you understand what the hype of White Lotus is about.
Yes. So go and catch White Lotus. It's on HBO Max right now, all 3 seasons. If you've seen it or about to see it, let us know in the comments down below your thoughts. We would love to hear what you thought. And as always, you can check us out on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Find us at ClapperCorn.
You can find or learn more about the Malaysian podcasting scene at www.renegadeplus.com.
Thank you so much again for watching. I'm Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
Keep watching the movies.
I just want to add one last thing, right?
You got a post-credit.
Yeah. Like the director or the writer for White Lotus, I feel like he's the most genius person. Jeremy White?
Mike White.
Mike White.
Is it? I want to say Mike
Lotus, creator is Mike White.
Mike
you are
White,
correct.
yes.
I feel like White Lotus is an excuse for Mike White and friends to go to some of the most luxurious hotels in the world. And the excuse is we're going to shoot a show about drama, about thriller, about, different backgrounds of people. And let's just go to the most expensive places in the dime of HBO.
For the future of White Lotus, maybe they should do a season where they invite, where the story is a bunch of movie reviewers are trapped in a hotel in Hawaii.
Okay.
And, have to solve a murder. So, White Lotus season 7, 8. Just think about that, Mike, if you're watching this.
All right, man. Bye-bye. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I got the fulfill for that.